The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I Rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. When you prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy, them, when you anointed I head with no oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy, I go follow I all the days of I even, may I go dwell in the house of the Lord God Jah. Kadamawe grumabe atela exag beer tana istalin abba shante Kadamawe Grumabi, Tela, where 2 centuries meet in the name of the Most High Jah, Adesso Jaja de. If Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. Same way, if Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and I say unto your name, King of kings and Lord of lords, the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, Amasa Yahuda, Amasa Negusto Negusto Danielam, Komaya Sataya, Yasoa Pio Aya. Ooh, and I give thanks. Ooh, and I love you. Ooh, and I bless you. Mawuso Bolisa, Adanu Wato. Ewo asikle afọ. Aw mawusobo lisa. Akpe kaka. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. Yes, something palatable. Listen, ingredients of so many different colors, shapes, and sizes, and even aromas find themselves in the black pot to be subjected to some amount of heat. Right after that, they produce one homogeneous product to nourish us, and this is known as food. Now, same way that black pot represents the continent of Africa, and the ingredients in the black pot represent us, the eaters. Now, the good thing is, the people of Africa, we must come together as one. Put aside all our differences, just like the ingredients in the black pot. Be able to produce one homogeneous product. In this case, not food, but development for our people, our continent, our land. We must be a tree planting people. For so long, we only plant pepper, maize, and even onion. Yes, in just a few days' time, they mature. We eat that, sleep, die, go and be forgotten. It's time now to plant trees. A lot of us will not want to plant trees because we know we will not live long enough to enjoy the shade of these trees. But remember, anytime you sit under the shade of a tree, remember that some people planted that knowing very well that they will not live long enough to benefit from the shade of the tree. But they did understand that if they did not live long enough, it didn't matter. Next generations to come will benefit from the shade of those trees. My brother, my sister, we are speaking in parables. Time now to invest in Africa. Time now to incline an ear to the motherland. This is the show known as the Black Pot, aka Kukushunemo. Here we speak truth to power. We don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. We rewire the mindset, the thinking of the people. Now, if the mindset is right, every other thing will be righted. If the mindset is right, forget about the problems of schools, roads, and hospitals. Individuals will build roads, hospitals, and schools, and even more, because the mindset is right. Think about it. My brother, my sister, Africa will make it, but Africa will begin to make it with you. Change your mind. Follow the right mindset. Patriotism, Pan-Africanism. We are live on Pan-African TV. We are also live on Loud Silence TV. We are live on Ghana Web TV, live on our own TV, the Black Empire TV. And via the power of satellite, we are seen all over the continent of Africa and beyond. We are the masters of Pan-Africanism. This is Pan-African TV. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Here we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we will not shy away from that. We will criticize, yes, but only to build and not to destroy. This is the Blakk Pot. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Please pick up the numbers and do business with us. The more your business grows, that same way we would also grow. And the work will continue over and over. Yes, this is the pot that is black. Not just any other pot, but the Blakk Pot. This is the man. Not just any other man, but the man who is black. Blakk Rasta. And today, we have a number of issues to look at. Now, the very first story I would like to look at today is rolling on your screen. And what does it say? Atlantic Bank boss sued. Side-Chickism elevated. Some people call them slave queens. Others call them side chicks. But they are all modern day prostitutes. My brother, my sister. Now, when he says slave queens in the Ghanaian parlance, it simply means a certain beautiful girl who is either following a certain married man because of financial favors and some other such things. So it's modern day prostitution. Atlantic Bank boss sued. Side-Chickism elevated. Slave queenism elevated. How high? Now listen, the First Atlantic Bank, whose logo you see here, says that it's refreshingly different. I will not doubt that. Now for a long time, the First Atlantic Bank never came into the spotlight until now. Listen, to those of us who do not know this bank, it's a very quiet bank, but very important. The First Atlantic Bank was founded in 1995, some 28 years ago. This is a bank whose headquarters is located right there inside Ridge West. It controls total assets of about 2.42 billion Ghana cedis. It's quite heavy. This bank is a unique bank. No wonder it says it's refreshingly different. Now, one of his bosses is called Ernest Nimakun. This is Ernest Nimakun. He's a handsome man, isn't he? He looks so responsible, especially in his glasses. Ernest Nimakun decided to get into a relationship with a young girl who was posted to the bank. Oh, to start her national service. So she was posted from the National Service Secretariat. And when she got in there, look at the curves. How many people would see this beautiful daughter of Eve? Oh, and take their hands off her. Look. And she knows how to flaunt all these things in order to get your attention. That's her. This beautiful girl. Ernest Nimakun saw all these goodies and decided that no, he would have to eat the forbidden apple. Hey, what happened next? What is the name of this lady? Why is the lady standing by that car you saw in that photograph? We are going to unravel that right now. Come along. Come here. This is published by which outfit? Yen. And Yen says, Deborah Adabla, lady sues First Atlantic Bank boss after failed romantic relationship. And we are just going to look at the meat of the story. The content. Number one, it says a lady identified as Deborah Sairam Adabla is causing a stir online after details of her suit against First Atlantic Bank and her former boss at the bank hit the internet. Two, Deborah Adabla is claiming that persistent sexual harassment from her former superior, Ernest Nimakun, eventually compelled her to enter into a relationship with him. Third one, but she feels the bank, First Atlantic Bank, failed to act on the forced sexual relationship and stop same, but instead used her and other ladies at the bank as bait to get wealthy businessmen to open accounts. Dash it away. So this is established. She claims she came there to do her national service. And then this man saw her and started persistently harassing her for sex. She didn't want it. But they agreed after some time, after the man promised him that one, he was going to divorce his wife, and even showed her evidence that he would by all means send his wife away in divorce. Number two, he was going to buy her a car, a Honda Civic. That one that you saw in that photograph. Roll it back again. That's her standing in front of the Honda Civic. We're going to get back to this wonderful gift called Honda Civic. And then he was going to pay her rent. And she's standing in front of the house that the man rented for her. The man was supposed to rent this house for 4 years. But he rented it for 1 year. And boom, this girl, she never knew how to drive. She hit the car, left, right, and center. And now it was time to repair the car. She went to the man and said, Mr. Nimakun, in fact, the car developed a fault. And said, oh, don't worry. Let the technician, is it technician? No, mechanic. Get the mechanic repaired. I'll pay for it. And when she went, she came back with a bill of 10,000 Ghana cedis. In fact, out of the bill, 6.5 thousand Ghana cedis was for the work of the mechanic. What they call workmanship. And look at the interesting thing. Come here. Look at the interesting thing. She paid the mechanic 6.5 thousand Ghana cedis. That's 6,500. And then she used the rest to fix the car. But Mr. Nimakun sat back and started thinking. Then he told his girlfriend, listen, I'm traveling to the Arab land. We are going on a certain retreat. I'll be back home. Hey. And when he traveled, little did Sairam know that he had planted box in the car, trackers in the car. Wherever she went, he knew. And he was able to see whatever was happening. And at a point, he was in Dubai, watching whatever was happening, and saw where the car was going, and who was in the car with Sairam. And on his phone, he quickly blocked the car. It broke down immediately and couldn't move because he had a tracker. Little did she know that even the car, he registered it in his own name. When he returned from Dubai, he asked, where's the car? Oh, it broke down. And remember, I talked to you about it and you said they will fix it and blah, blah, blah. He went to the mechanic shop demanding to take the car. But the mechanic said, no, you can't take the car. You were not the one who brought it here. He showed papers and said the car belongs to me. No, they would not allow him to take it. And he sat down with the girl and said, the relationship is over. The girl asked, you promised me you're going to marry me. You didn't do it. Number two, you promised me that you were going to rent a house for me for 4 years. You did only 1 year and it's all over. The car that you said you were going to buy for me, you bought it, but it's in your name. And again, you had a tracker on it and you were tracking me wherever I went. Compensate me. And Nimaku said, I will not compensate you. You have enjoyed the car enough. We had a good relationship. It's over. It's over. I love my wife. She went to court. What does she want in court? Come here. It's interesting, isn't it? That's the court writ. Yes, all over. The documents are all over the internet. Anybody can see. But there's another story to this. Watch it. Now, the interesting thing about this thing is that she wants the car to be returned to her. That's number one. Number two, the car should be written, or the paper should be written in her name. The man was giving her close to 4,000 Ghana cedis every month. In fact, less 500 Ghana for her upkeep. Now the money is not coming anymore. The man doesn't want to see her. In fact, she wants some kind of compensation. She wants the car returned and some other such things. Now she's not suing Ernest Nimakun alone, but the bank. She said the bank saw everything that was happening, but did nothing to stop it. Rather, pushed it on. And they even recruited other girls to come in, beautiful girls, who they used to bait wealthy men to come and save right there in the bank. Serious allegations. Dash this away. Hear me now. Now Deborah wants all these things. The man says, I will not give you. Then she went to court. Now it's all over the internet. Are they going to sit down and sort it out? Are they going to do it? But what is the wife of the man saying? Do you know who the wife is? That's her. The wife is a medical doctor, pretty and beautiful. Some people said most of the time the slave queens are not as pretty as the wives of the man. But what they give to the man in the bed, their wives probably are unable to provide that. Now, why were they going to get divorced? Was it just a domestic argument? Or there was something in the soup? Were they going to get divorced because Ernest Nimakum met a new girl and the girl insisted that they should break up? In fact, so many text messages, leaked text messages have also flooded the internet, but we will not go into that. What we want to go into is this. Come along, come here. Watch this. Ernest Nimakum himself. Who is he? Who is this man called Ernest Nimakum? Watch this. 7 things to know about the First Atlantic Bank CFO sued by his side chick. First Atlantic Bank and Mr. Kwesi Nimakum have been trending on the internet since morning for obvious reasons. The fire on the mountain got lit when a lady by the name of Deborah Sairam Adabla sued the chief financial officer of the prestigious bank for failing to fulfill his promises to her when they were dating. Apparently, Deborah was Mr. Nimakum's side chick during her NSS, National Service. We're talking about National Service days at First Atlantic Bank, the Accra branch. According to her, the top hierarchy of the bank knew about her amorous relationship with the CFO of First Atlantic Bank, but did nothing to stop it. Furthermore, she alleged that the bank has even taken an active part in using her and other junior female staff of the bank to bait wealthy businessmen to open accounts with the famous bank. Although Mr. Ernest Nimakum is yet to officially comment on the issue, Debbie has refused to keep mute despite suing the banker. In this article, we bring to you 7 facts about the man of the moment, Mr. Kwesi Nimakum, who is the CFO of First Atlantic Bank. Number 1, come here. Number 1, Mr. Kwesi Nimakum is a married man. His wife is Belinda Efriye Nimakum, a medical doctor. We showed you the photo earlier, right? Number 2, Kwesi Nimakum is a chartered accountant with experience in the banking and telecommunication industry. Prior to joining First Atlantic Bank in 2016, he worked with Omni Bank, Fidelity Bank, GS Telecoms, and Barclays Bank, amongst others. Number 4, Kwesi Nimakum. Ernest Kwesi Nimakum is an old student of Presec Legon who completed his A-levels in 1994. Oh, wow. In 1994, I was in lower 6, so he finished a year before me. I didn't go to Presec. I went to T. Amade Secondary School, the best secondary school in the whole country. He proceeded to the University of Cape Coast in 1996 and graduated in 1999 with a Bachelor of Commerce degree. He is in his early 50s, as his actual date of birth remains unknown at the moment. He's a deacon of Grace Baptist Church. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. 7, he shares kids. I don't like the word kids, I like children. He shares children with his wife, but their exact number and identity have been shielded from the public domain. Dash it away. And this is the woman. Beautiful smiles. Now the woman is throwing tantrums. She's so angry that now her face is all over the internet, all because of her husband's infidelity. My brother, my sister, the slave queen is brokenhearted. She said she was forced into the relationship. And the interesting thing I want to share with you is this. And we close this chapter. Come here. When the man persistently asked Deborah out and she said no, she finally asked, but you are a married man. And he said, yes, I'm married, but I'm divorcing my wife. Apart from that, I'll give you a car. I'll rent a house for you. I will do this, I'll do this, I'll do that. A lot of them. The lady said, can I record you telling me that you'll do all these things for me? And when a man is on heat, he will say anything. So he said, oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. And she clicked, talk. Deborah, I promise you that I am going to rent a house for you for 4 years. I'm going to buy you a car, Honda Civic. At the same time, I'll give you 3,500 Ghana cedis as pocket money every month for no work done. And I'll also do this, I'll also do this, I'll also do that. When he finished, he said, so help me God. And click. Sent it to him and also kept her copy. So now, she's carrying it all over the place and saying that this was what you said before I gave myself to you. Make sure the promise is kept. But what does the law say about this? Listen, if you promise a woman something so that she would give herself to you in marriage, it's enough consideration. If you go to a woman and say, if you marry me, if you agree to marry me, I will buy you a car or a house or this. Or if you happen to go into a relationship with me, I will do this, I'll do this, I'll do that for you. Albeit verbally, it stands if it can be proven. And I don't know what your lawyers are telling you, but a lot has gone under the bridge. Your name is all over the place. I sympathize with you because a lot of men do this, especially when curvy, beautiful ladies like this come knocking at your door. At the time she said no, maybe the best thing to have done was to close the door and walk away. Again, she came for national service in your bank. You were her superior. You took undue advantage of this girl. Undue advantage. I worked at multimedia, and at multimedia, it was one of their laws, their policies, that romantic relationships between workers was not allowed. All because of some of these reasons. My brother, I don't know how your lawyers are going to handle this, but if I were you, give the car to her, pay for the rent, and the two other things she demanded, they are not too difficult to give. You should have done that because you knew that your cupboard had a lot of skeletons, so that she will go away in peace. But I'm also hearing that he had gone ahead to give so many different things to the lady, but she kept coming back and threatening, asking for more. And now he got tired and said, do whatever you can do. I pray that they find an amicable solution to this. That's just how we make we deal with the next thing. Next thing I would like to look at today is rolling on your screens. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Now, a friend of mine writes for Graphic and Times. In fact, his base is the Times. He's called John Vegan. That's him. I love this brother. He's also a reggae singer. He called me a few days back and said, Blakk Rasta, I stumbled on some hot news and it's so sad. I would want you to cover it. I said, really? Feed me with the details. This man writes for the National Communicator, Graphic and Times. Missing baby at 37 military hospital SAGA. And look at the headline. Missing twin SAGA. My wife's placenta has been sent to Italy for analysis. And this is the husband of the man. Come here, let's analyze it. What is the story all about? Let's read. And this one is from the Times, written by my own brethren, John Vegan. He says, the placenta tissue of a woman whose other twin baby is alleged to have vanished at birth at the 37 military hospital in Accra, is said to have been sent to Italy for further examination. The exercise is to determine whether the 38-year-old woman, Miss Audrey Ejapong, was delivered of twins, which has generated an amperage of interest among Ghanaians. This was disclosed to the Ghanaian Times yesterday by husband of the twins, Daniel Nawu, in Accra, after a series of ultrasonic scans in 2 hospital facilities, including the 37 military hospital, that suggested she was carrying 2 live fetuses of 38 weeks. Miss Ejapong was delivered of only a baby girl on September 8th last year. Dr. Ali Saini, who performed the cesarean section, CS, is alleged to have told Miss Ejapong that only 1 baby was delivered, a claim the latter utterly rejected, hence the need to send her placenta abroad for further scrutiny, the Ghanaian Times was told. According to Mr. Nawu, one Major Alfred Topper, a member of the team set up to investigate the issue, came to his house and informed him that his wife's placenta had been sent to Italy for thorough analysis to establish whether it bore twins or not. I asked them why they had to keep the placenta for 3 months before sending it overseas, and he explained that it was because of the nature of the case. As a matter of fact, I told him whatever be the case, I wouldn't believe in the result because I am convinced my wife gave birth to twins, Mr. Nawu told the Ghanaian Times. However, he said he was given a FedEx tracking ID by Major Topper to enable him track the transportation and arrival of the placenta in Italy. An information picked up by the Ghanaian Times from Mr. Nawu's phone yesterday indicated that the placenta, weighing 1.1 pounds, that's 0.5 kilograms, was shipped on December 23, 2022, arrived in Italy on January 2, 2023, and delivered same day by FedEx, which tracking ID number was given as blah, 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 blah. The father of the missing twin said he had been assured by Major Topper that the result of the placenta analysis would be communicated to him whenever it was ready, though he didn't disclose when. Mr. Nawu said he had been wondering how the examination of the placenta could exactly determine the number of babies delivered on the day. Shedding light on the placenta analysis, an obstetrician who wants to remain anonymous intimated to the Ghanaian Times that transporting a placenta abroad for examination may not exactly bring out the truth. Dash it away. My brother, my sister, simple. She went for scans, 2 different hospitals. They both said, you have twins in your belly. On the day of delivery, only 1 baby was brought to her. She said, where is the other one? So, oh, no, it was only 1. She insisted. Where is the other one? It was only 1. Oh, really? So what happened to the scans? They said it was a mistake. They said it was a mistake. Is it possible like that? We will show you something. Ghana Web also published this. Missing twin saga. There was only 1 baby. Our scan aired. 37 military hospitals said that. That means there was a mistake. Run the story. The management of the 37 military hospital has reportedly said that its investigation into an allegation of a missing twin in the hospital by a couple disclosed that there was only 1 baby in the womb of the woman, the mother. According to the hospital, the scan they performed that showed that the couple was expecting twins was an error. The management therefore apologized to the couple and promised to give them a copy of the report from their investigation into the matter on Friday. GhanaianTimes.com reports the same story that we talked about. My brother, my sister, Watch this. The report indicated that the hospital disclosed these details at a meeting held on Monday with senior military officers, including the chief of staff at the general headquarters of the Ghana Armed Forces, Major General Nicholas Peter Ando, and the family of Daniel Now, husband of the woman who was expecting twins at the Bema camp in Accra. Dash it away. And come. My brother, this is a serious story. There was a time, only a couple of years ago, when babies were getting missing in hospitals. We live in a country where people believe that fresh babies born can be used for juju. There are some women who are unable to bear children. They also are able to talk to some hospitals to give them women's fresh babies so that they will take home to their wealthy husbands and say that, well, they gave birth to this. Only God knows how many of these children are in the system, and they are being taken care of, in quotes, by mothers who are not their mothers. The saddest part of the whole thing is a lot of these poor women who go to give birth are just told how your baby died and we buried the baby. We all remember the stories in Kumasi that erupted like a whole active volcano, and how the country came to a standstill because of some of these stories. Now, we live in a country where once a woman is married, within the next few months, they want to see your stomach increase in size. If you don't get pregnant, you are a witch. If you are not a witch, then you must give birth. It's a primitive country in some of these areas. Sometimes a woman would even be denied everything if the husband dies without this woman bearing a child. So it puts a lot of women in a very serious predicament. I had a friend who went for a scan and told me that, oh, the doctor said he was going to have twins with his wife. Oh, wow, really? Interestingly, the day the woman was in labor, he called me and said, oh, my wife is in labor. I said, I had a dream the night before today that your wife gave birth to only one child. I didn't see the other child. I don't know. But you said the doctor said you'd have two? He said yes. Only one child was delivered. And the same story was given to my brethren. It was only one child. There was a mistake. The scan showed something that looked like a fibroid, but it also misinterpreted that to mean that there was another child. Could this be the same situation? I spoke with my brethren, and he believes in my dreams. He said, well, if you saw only one child, then let's leave it at that. I told him I didn't see any wrongdoing. He believed in it and stayed back. Later, the doctor approached him and explained better to him. And other doctors confirmed that it was truly just one child. Could this be the same situation? Scans can make mistakes, but these are two scans saying the same thing, that the woman carried twins. Could somebody have used this woman's other twin for juju, or sold the child out to some wealthy family? It happens in our country. Some pastors even use it for juju, as alleged by Canada, Japan. And one such pastor is Obinim, also alleged by Canada, Japan. What a country. Anyway, when we return, we got more, right? Hey! Wayo! This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Next story. What does it say? It rolls on your screen. Come here. Watch it. Our aid, not for free. US wants Ghana. Hey. Our aid, not for free. US wants Ghana. And this is the US aid from the American people. So it's aid, but it is not free aid. And this is the man saying that. Why did he say that? And this is a flashback. Our money is not for free. U.S. cautions Ghana. U.S. Aid Mission Director for Ghana, James A. Bever, in March 2015. How many years now? How many years? 8. Disclosed that monies given to Ghana were not free. He stated that these monies belonging to American taxpayers. In fact, he stated that these monies belong to American taxpayers and expect to see dividends anytime such monies were given out to Ghana. U.S. aid in 2013 and 2014 provided about 45 million American dollars to support 3 main areas of Ghana's economy, which included helping to preserve offshore fisheries along Ghana's coastal areas, equipping smallholder farmers, that's the single-headed households, especially women up north, to increase their yield and support commercial farmers. Come here. U.S. Aid Mission Director for Ghana, James A. Beyer, says Ghanaians should not see financial aid from America as a giveaway, but treat it with the same radicalism and rigor as the rest of state spending. The monies we dole out to Ghana belong to American taxpayers, and we expect to see dividend anytime such monies are given out to Ghana. We expect the aid to help boost trade as well as help produce more healthy and educated Ghanaians, Mr. Bever told journalists in Accra last week. U.S. aid has over the last 2 years provided about 45 million to support 3 main areas of Ghana's economy. Dash it away. Listen. In this country, this is the only country in the world where our leader will fly chartered flight, £15,000 an hour. The plane will come and sit on the tarmac here, whilst the president is in there eating chibom and drinking tea for 3 hours. Before he will join the flight, and Pap is gone to beg for money. Now, after getting loans, they come home and celebrate that with Kenke and Kelewele parties. What a country. What's wrong with us? Now, the people they go to beg the money from, these are people who are so humble. They are people who cut their coats according to their cloths. They are people who think. Now we vote you into power. Give all our trust to you and all our power to you so that you can deliver on our behalf. Now, if at the end of the day, you are running to the IMF to help you manage the economy that you mismanaged, then it's better we bring the IMF and call the IMF the president. After all, you have failed on your mandate. We brought you in to come and manage the economy. You failed. You should resign and go away. It's so sad that every now and then in the newsreel, it's all about Ghana giving this aid. This country that nobody has ever heard about has come to give Ghana some money. Some people have just dropped from a certain hole in the Atlantic Ocean. They have come to give Ghana something so that they can feed their little babies at Pesingpe or in Labadi. Every Tom, Dick and Harry, every pauper from America, England, is a rich man in Ghana. When they come, they donate their coins to us. It hurts me. I do not want to be a receiver. I want to be able to give. I have 2 arms like the American people. I have 2 legs like the American people. I have a head that has a brain in it. Why should I always be at the end there, low-handed? Do you understand what that means? People outside this country who come to donate to us are high-handed. We are always low-handed. And you are not ashamed of this. All they do is to talk politics. How they want to be voted back into power after this abysmal performance. And we have some idiots who will still follow them. I am so ashamed every now and then when I see these Americans talk like this. The American will not come and ask you for aid. So you cannot go to the American and remind the American that whatever you are giving to him is not for free. They are treating us like little children because we deserve to be treated like that. Our stupid, foolish leaders with no brains are those who have brought us this far. When I speak like this, some people don't like it, but I am hurt. Why is it that as for us, we are always going out there begging? Why is it that as for us, every now and then, all our interest is, oh, we are poor, come and help us. Why are we poor? Why are we poor? There was a little boy who was dying in England. He went all the way to Zimbabwe, Africa, and he became the richest guy, richer than even the Queen of England, a dying man. We've told the story of this person over and over, and sadly, he decided to colonize Zimbabwe and give Zimbabwe his name. Do you remember? My brother, my sister, listen, Africa is rich. He couldn't get rich in England. He had to come here and be rich. Mansa Musa carried a lot of gold and caused inflation all the way on his route to Mecca. Where was the money from? Where was the gold from? Yet we say Africa is poor. Bad leadership, stupidity, and sheer foolishness is what is killing us in this country. We need leaders who have common sense, not Paul Biya. We need leaders who are patriotic, not Nana Akufo-Addo. We need leaders who are wise, my brother, my sister, not those nitwits who call themselves leaders and they surround Africa, sucking Africa's blood like vampires. Listen to how the American is talking. The money we have given to your country is not free money. We want to see you use it properly. Listen to this. It's like I call my elder brother and I say, hey, bro, this money where I give you, I want to make a see say you use and well. When senior brother lowers himself to the ground, junior brother will talk to him like that. You are now going to teach your elder brother how to use the money wisely. Oh, Jesus, have mercy. How dare America come to Ghana and say, hey, the money we are giving to you, we are watching you. We want you to use it with common sense. It's an insult. But the Americans are right. The Jamaicans say, chatty mouth, stoop low. So he must get a blow. When you stoop low, you get a blow. It hurts me. But we will leave it here. If I were the president of this country, no matter how hungry my people would get, let us all be hungry. Those who will die, let them die. But let us die with pride. Let us die so that the next generation would come and be cut away from this economic bondage and suppression. Somebody wouldn't understand this. If you follow your stomach, you'll be hungry forever. But if you lay down your stomach and get hungry so that the basics can be treated, and I'm not talking about symptoms, I'm talking about the real cause, we can go somewhere. But our leaders, they are full of cosmetism. Cosmetism. You know what it means to say cosmetics? Cosmeticism. That is what is in their minds. Garnishing. They polish the top, yet the inside is rotten and smelling. They don't care. Once you see the shine on top, they are okay. Posterity will judge all of you one after the other. But we return. we have a very interesting issue to share with you. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Coco Show.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Coco Show. Here we speak truth to power. The education minister in Ghana is embarrassed. He's embarrassed. Why is he embarrassed? This was the man who was recently said to have embezzled some money, and it came out that, well, the money was still intact, whatever. That's the man. This was the man who made that wonderful speech in which he said, Ghanaian education should be geared towards critical thinking rather than just what people give you. You swallow hook, line, and sinker, write your exam and pass. We supported him because this was possible and positive. And this same man was the one who said he didn't leave the West and all his work there to come to Ghana to just be another square peg in a round hole. Minister embarrassed at Ghana's schools of shame. There was a documentary on Joy, and the network published some schools that were so nauseous. He saw the documentary and got mad. Why? I was ashamed when I saw Ghana's schools of shame documentary. Education Minister Dr. Yao Osei Educhum says he felt embarrassed by Joy News' Schools of Shame documentary. His shame, he said, stems from the fact that there are many positive stories about the strides Ghana is making in spite of the challenges that the documentary could have focused on. But the journalists chose to expose the acute lack of school infrastructure in some basic schools as contained in the documentary. Ghana's Schools of Shame is a feature series on the Joy News channel that highlights the country's education infrastructure challenges in 3 districts of the country. The Krachi in Chumuru district, for example, listen, has 68 public basic schools. About 45% of all the schools are in terrible shape. Over 7,000 children have no furniture. They sit on the bare floor and they are beaten by all kinds of ants and all kinds of things that make the ground there their habitat. The situation is not different in the Pandai district, where many of the children lie on the bare floor to take lessons and examinations. Why? Speaking at the Ghana Science and Tech Explorer Awards ceremony on Wednesday, the minister said despite the great things happening in the country, the documentary only sought to project the negatives in the education sector of the country to the global world. He argued that there are students who are coming from schools of fame in Ghana and have been able to win awards. Recently, I saw some TV programming where they were talking about Ghana's schools of shame, and I was ashamed because of all the great things happening in the country. We want to focus on the negative and get the world to know that there are negative things in Ghana. Dash it away. So this is when you vote an education minister with no sense into power. Today he makes a speech that is so exhilarating. A speech that is so powerful. We all allowed him, just like the pot-bellied president. He will talk, Ghana beyond aid, Africa beyond aid, yeah, the European history, yeah. They will all say, yes, go on, Mr. President. Hey, we know how to bring back the economy, but we don't know how to resurrect dead bodies. Say, hey, Mr. President, go on, you are good. Then he turns around and is behaving like a zombie. Common sense, gone. I don't know if it's old age that is making these people behave like this. But again, we all will grow old if we are lucky. But we will only grow old if they keep the economy good and they put us in a better shape, or else we will die alongside them. Like the Titanic thing. Listen, Joy News decided to go on a documentary spree. They did a lot of them about the killing of the judges and blah blah. It's now the turn for infrastructural deficiency in our educational system. And you are now telling the journalists what to say and what not to say. Do you know how many times journalists have talked about the great education that we had in Ghana years back? Today, if it's rotten, they should be able to say that again. Students, school placements. Look at what happened a couple of years back. They went there to the Liberation Square, wherever they went to. And when they went and stood in the hot sun, some of them collapsed. You couldn't even give them water to drink. Little school children. Will you do that to your children? But idiots don't think. When the children collapsed, the nonsensical education minister at that time, Matthew Opoku, I don't want to add a doctor to his name because doctors with PhDs don't reason like that. What did he say? That the children were intentionally collapsing. It was the opposition party that brought them there to collapse so that they will mar the name of the government. Will a wise man speak like this? It is almost the same language this education minister is speaking. He should have rather said, hey, we have done a lot of great things. But the more we do great things, the more we see that there is more to be done. Documentaries like this push us to sacrifice and kill ourselves to make sure that we do more. That's the sensible thing he should have said. Not to say, hey, we've done great things and they are not seeing the great things. They are only seeing the bad things. Ha! If your child was lying on his bare belly, beaten by so many different scorpions, so many different kinds of ants, including soldier and police ants. There's one ant that they call kakape. Some people who want to go vulgar, they pronounce it another way. But we will not do that. Kakape. Ha! When it bites you, the head stays there. Soldier ants, police ants, commander ants, they are all there. Some ants are so poisonous when they bite you, all around you, you see some kinds of things growing around you. You are not interested in saving that child. If your child was there, that would have been the first school that you would deal with. A serious minister should be saying that, oh, we've done so many great things, but certainly we have more to do. These things only open us up to do more. And also to help individuals to see the real plight of the children. And they will all come and help in one way or the other. That's what a serious minister should say. And then you take the opportunity to encourage the media to look at the other aspect of the work that has been done and how the maintenance culture is being upheld. You don't tell the journalists what to write. You don't. I'm glad that the real thing is coming out. Should we cosmeticize it so that the real thing will be hidden and praises would always be showered? Yet when you go into the area, you're like, what? Yet in South Africa, something else is happening. Watch it. Listen, it's still about schooling. South African student turns down offer to study in the US. Chooses local university. Hey! Why? The local university they aren't no they there. Soldier aren't no they there. Kakape no they there. Why? South African student Mfiwi Hiatrayayo has rejected an offer to study in the US on scholarship. Afiwi, who achieved 6 distinctions in her final metric exams at Redford House, the Hills in Pretoria, has been accepted to study anatomy at Seattle University in the US, but she declined that offer for a South African university where she wants to study medicine. News 24 reported. The platform said Afiwi was offered an opportunity to study anatomy at Seattle University for 4 years and another 4 years in medicine as part of its postgraduate program. The Pretoria student said she turned down the offer after her mentor advised her not to go to the US as she would have to spend 4 more years before completing her 4-year medical degree. Dash it away. You see, listen, I've been to South Africa. I don't know about you. Out of every 10 South Africans you see, only 1 has a passport. They have been able to treat their country good. Country is growing good. Hey, if it's winter, they have it in South Africa. So they won't go to America to see winter. Hey, if it's summer, they have summer there. Hey, whatever you want in South Africa, you find. Even gays and lesbians. They are there in South Africa. It's allowed. So there's nothing that is in Europe and America that is not in South Africa. Is South Africa not an African country? Is Rwanda not an African country? How have they been able to do it? Leadership. Leadership. And interestingly, these 2 great countries, Rwanda and South Africa, they went through some very terrible history. We all remember apartheid in South Africa. We remember the genocide in Rwanda. How did they do it? And yet we who never went through anything are here politicking and misbehaving. We don't even have the chance to enter our universities. All of us are running out because the universities are choked. Because I don't want to take my children to a school where he or she will lie down and be beaten by ants of different colors and shapes. Minister, with all respect, thank the media for bringing out. I wish we were going to say it was a lie so that we all will see that the media lied. But if it is the truth, let it come out. After all, it's the truth. Then encourage them to look at the other aspect. That's it. Any which way, my name is Blakk Rasta. Blessed love. I thank you, I appreciate you, and I love you. I want to say thank you so much. It's been the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Hey! Wayo!